What I've got up on the bench today is my own personal, almost brand new, about a week old, Stihl MS201T C-M. Now this is very, very similar to the 201T I've already reviewed. Big difference being this is the M-tronic model, so it has the processor controlled carburetor. If you're not familiar, it takes into account fuel quality, barometric pressure, differential pressure on the air filter, all these different factors, and adjusts the carburetor automatically to give you optimal run settings. On paper, the specs are the exact same as the regular 201T. This is a 35.2 cc engine, got 8.16 pounds on the power head, puts out 2.41 horsepower, gives us a power to weight ratio of 0.295 horsepower per pound. Take a 12-inch to 16-inch bar, got a 16-inch on here right now. I've got my lanyard tie-in on here. That doesn't come with the saw. Got that from Tree Stuff. So I've had this about a week. I've probably run about 2 tanks through it, maybe 3. Haven't been using it a whole lot just because the last week I've been doing a lot of just random assorted stuff, not necessarily climbing and needing a chainsaw, a lot of just handsaw work, stuff that was too small to really need or necessitate a chainsaw. Yesterday I did go up to T&L and I filmed some cuts with it, and just for comparison I took the 201T non-M-tronic that I've been using. It's also modified. I drilled out the muffler and advanced the timing on it. So I cut with this guy, and then I cut with my older non-M-tronic, and really this guy is not really comparable. That modified 201T, it just blew it out of the water, as you'll see in the videos. They're both brand new chains. Usually I take my depth gauges down a little bit to be more aggressive, but for the video, I just had new chains on there. Hadn't touched them or modified them in any way. But yeah, it did its job. It cut, not as well though. So anyway, let's take a closer look at this and get under the hood. This guy does feature the capture bar nut and side tensioner. As is most of all my Stihl equipment, really. Guy was purchased from Arts Lawnmower Shop here in Florissant. Do have a 16-inch bar on here at the moment. Your standard 2-post chain brake on all Stihls. This is a Pro Saw, so it is German made with the magnesium frame. Alright, the standard Elasto start handle, bar and chain oil, fuel mix. Does have a very good anti-vibe system. You get a whole lot of play. And this guy, on these 201s, I can sometimes find that to be a detriment, just because, if you're cutting, you can sometimes kind of get cockeyed and bind up a little bit. Really, I think that's just inexperience at play. Just something to get used to, really. Also does have an adjustable chain oiler, and like everything else I use, I always keep that cranked up all the way. The M-tronics, if you're not familiar, and unlike the master control levers on the carbureted models, or the normal carbureted models, instead of being a 4-way switch, this is a 3-way switch. Your kill is up, and that's spring loaded, so it'll always bounce back to normal run. And then you hold the throttle, come down, release the throttle, that'll put you in your start setting. In your start setting, when you start it, I would just leave it run for a minute in that start setting to warm up. A lot of times if you pop it out beforehand, your machine will just die. So let it warm up there for a minute or so before you pop it down to normal run. Everything else pretty standard. Do have a felling sight on here. Do have a quick release to get to the air filter. Normal flocked fleece air filter. These guys don't have the pleated papers like a lot of your other Pro Saws. I think it's just a more save on weight and save on size. With the pleated paper, this whole area would be a lot bigger. So I think that's just saving on real estate. Like all other climbing saws, you do have this D-ring back here. You can see I've got my clip on here to make it tie in. I also have a lanyard if I need it, but it makes it a lot easier to store your saw when you're not using it. You just pop it right on your harness. Let's take the side cover off here and look at the insides. All right, taking out the side cover. Just like the 201T regular. Wear pad here, got your chain brake here. This is an outside clutch, so there's your clutch right there, your sprocket, Your rim sprocket, spur sprocket is actually on the inside. We do have bar spikes on here, pretty decent sized dogs, grip pretty well. Your chain catcher in case you do break a chain. Wear plates here and here, they're replaceable so you're not wearing into your magnesium. Chain oil there, side tensioner, all the basics, nothing super fancy on this section. Do have a cold weather shutter right back here, so if you're running in cold weather you can flip that around. As I said, you do have a spur type sprocket on here, so that's not a rim. As I already showed you, just the flocked fleece air filter pops right off. And then you got the carburetor right under there. Maybe I'll take that off. But one thing we'll do differently, let's go ahead and remove this rewind cover, and you can see where the M-tronic system is. Alright, so I'm removing the rewind cover. So the M-tronic processor is actually built into the ignition module right up there. Right, see the cylinder down there. Also, like every new saw, the exhaust is horribly restricted. I will be modifying that here in the future, but I don't want to do that while it's under warranty, because then if it breaks, I'm screwed and I have to pay for it myself. Whereas if it's a warranty item and I don't do that, they fix it. Taking off the carburetor cover here. Look at your carburetor here. You can see it does have a choke plate there, but that functions automatically in that start setting. And yeah, I mean, you can see your wiring going to your solenoid here. So no adjustment screws over here on the side like the normal 201T. But that's about it. So now I'll show you the video of me cutting with it, and then right after this I cut the same wood with the not M-tronic 201T. Also to note, if you look right here, there's a connector. See if I can get that door off. Alright, so your technician can actually plug in there and gather data from the machine. It can give you things like runtime and all that. It's pretty sweet setup. But anyway, now let's cut some wood. Alright, so here we are with the new 201T C-M and my trusty 201T non-C-M, but advanced timing and ported muffler. See how they do. I don't quite have 3 tanks on this saw yet, but even so, I don't think many more tanks is going to open it up that much more, really. You know, I might be doing some muffler mods, but I'm not really 100% on other mods on the M-tronic models yet, so I'm going to hold off. Cuts well, but nowhere near, you know, what this guy is. You know, we'll see how she does in the future, but definitely not this. Love this one. This one, yeah, I don't know. Seems like the newer the models get, the less performance you get out of them. But we'll see. Have a good one, humans.